NBA. More rides, new life, new gigs, new this, new that. My home, my place, bigger names, bigger money, smaller honey shit. Good girl, man, but she act bad for me. Yeah, checks in the
Hey, what's up, LockEmUp hoops? We're back. Realistic Randy with Mastermind and BoldBarry talk all things NBA. We just talked Kevin Durant, free agency. Where will he end up? I don't know, but Mastermind and BoldBarry says OKC more than likely. We'll just have to see. BoldBarry, let's go to you, man. What other free agents are you interested in this Friday?
Well, after the first guy here, I'm gonna trickle down to a little bit of Wade and D12 Dwight Howard Superman franchise killer. Mr. Wade, starting with Wade, there's been speculation out there saying that he's having contract negotiation issues. There's been a bunch of stalls. His agents have been out there saying, Wade's open to take offers for certain teams. When let's be realistic here, I think this whole the banana boat emojis, the banana boat Snapchats, the banana boat everything. Just
on vacation right now too.
Yeah, they're on vacation doing Snapchatting each other and stuff. So I mean, they're definitely all talking. I personally see, because I screamed Brotherhood a long time ago. June 7th as Mastermind dated in one of the pods, and I think I said it before that. The Brotherhood's happening somehow, some way, but I think the household is getting split. There's gonna be a bro here and a hood over here. So it's like I see very interesting things happening. I see probably because Chris Paul is definitely not going to Cleveland. That's just out of the question when you had Kyrie pretty much virtually win you the game.
They're not trading him, man.
That's not happening. That's out the window. Kevin Love, Melo, that's still iffy, but nope. Derrick Rose just went over to New York, so I just don't see that happening. But now this leads to Wade. Wade has many options here for me. He has the New York Knicks. Yes, the New York Knicks. He has the Clippers. And he also has his boy, LeBron James, the King. Now, if he wants, I did, and I didn't even put quotes either. But he has choices to make here. I mean, the Brotherhood. Now, you already got 2 rings with your boy LeBron. Where do you want to go and get your boy? Which brother do you want to get a ring next? That's my big question. Now, I don't know exactly where he'll go, but I think Miami he's done. I see him possibly going to Cleveland only because we got to remember LeBron James turned down his player option or team option, whichever option it was. He turned down that contract, which I think was $24 million on the table. Mm-hmm. I see that being a power play to getting Wade strictly because let's not forget, Wade was supposed to get paid way more than that 1 year, $20 million deal there with the free agency happening this year. He was supposed to get paid a lot more, but with the LeBron James frenzy again, he kind of screwed Wade out of that deal. So this could be a way of paying back what he did 2-3 years ago with Dwayne Wade over in Miami, and Wade ends up going over there. And I mean, personally, this team, they'll be back in the finals next year, obviously. Especially if that happens.
With him or without him.
With or without him. So I think, and I'm about Wade. I'm sorry. Wade's about getting championships. I think Wade wants to win, and that's more of the winning situation. But if you want to go over to New York, that's also a winning situation if it plays out right. And I don't think Wade at this point in his career, I think he's going to turn 35 this year. I don't think he wants a what if. So that'll be like a second tier, but almost a first option just because, we got the banana boat and the Brotherhood out here. And then his other situation would also be the Clippers. Now, I was talking with, one of my cousins, and we were talking about how that would be a good move. But, it's just there's too much going on over there. You got Blake Griffin, you got Chris Paul, you got J.J. Redick, possibly Paul Pierce. I don't know what's good with him right now. That was a force. I'm just naming the players on the roster. But it's just one of those things it's just one of those things where I don't know. I really don't know with Wade. It'll be a good situation for him. He's got a good coaching doc, but it's out west. And that's really all I was getting at. It's out west, and it's a different game out there. We've seen what players who come from the east side become when they come out west with Rondo, with Dwight Howard. That's only a few to mention. So, the list is very short for him. He's definitely not going to get paid max money like that. I don't see at 34, 35 years old. I don't see him getting paid that much money unless he goes to Cleveland. So with Wade, we'll see. I'll let you guys chime in a little bit. I'll mention D12 later on, but which he reportedly is the Blazers are interested in him too. So I'll let y'all chime in.
Okay. Well, I'll start off. I'll get to Dwayne Wade and Dwight later, but I'll start off with Al Horford. I think the Warriors, and the Blazers are a little low-key sleeper teams for picking him up. I think the Blazers are another piece away. They need a big man. I think they need a. I think that's perfect. Look what they did when I think Damian Lillard is a very special talent. I think C.J. McCollum is a very special talent, and all they need to do is add one more big or a big. They don't have one at all, so they add him. I think they'll be a solid contender as well. And I think the Warriors have a good shot at getting Al Horford as well too. I think he's kind of that perfect skilled big man that the Bogut was. He can pass. Bogut can't shoot, but at least Horford can hit that, the 15-footer. He even can hit a three sometimes, and he can pretty much run up and down the court with them. The only thing is he gets kind of hurt sometimes, so you do have to worry about that. So I think
the seasons though.
Yeah, exactly. So I think those two teams possibly can get him, or Atlanta. Even Atlanta. Al Horford seems like a loyal guy, so he could possibly stay in Atlanta too. My next guy would be Paul Gasol. I think Paul, like you mentioned already, realistic Randy. I think he is a Spur. He is the typical Spurs type of talent. Very skilled.
A younger version of Duncan.
He's older. He doesn't have any distractions. He just does whatever the organization asks him to do, and so I think that's a perfect fit. He could play the center position. Even if Tim Duncan stays, I think Tim Duncan will come off the bench. The guy's 40 years old now. He can't give you too much anymore. He'll probably play 5 minutes a game now. He's done.
Would that make him a threat?
I don't know. Who, just signing Powell?
Just the Spurs signing Powell. You think that brings them back in?
I mean, they're a threat anyway. They got Aldridge
True.
and Kawhi. Kawhi is a Finals MVP, so he's a two-time
and a Defensive Player of the Year.
2 times back to back. So I think that'd be a good move for him. And also Mike Conley, I'm hearing that he can go to the Spurs as well too. So I know a lot of those guys on the Spurs like to take pay cuts. So who knows? One of them can take a pay. I think exactly. So pop things. Exactly. So I can see Mike Conley and Dwight Howard. I heard Dwight Howard has 2 meetings. I think Friday with the Celtics and the Hawks. So that looks like those 2 teams are in serious contention. If they, having the meeting, I think the first day is a real big deal. So I'm hearing a lot of Celtics fans don't want Dwight Howard because of his, he's a franchise killer. Which I believe he is. But the Celtics, if I'm the Celtics, do I take him? I don't know. I consider it just because you need another talent on that team to get the ball to and without having Isaiah Thomas create because he can't. No one else can create for offense. So Dwight can't either. But, I think he'll be good on rebounds. And it's the East again. He can dominate in the East if he wants to.
That's when dominant big man out there.
Exactly.
It's a slower paced game.
Exactly. And Hassan Whiteside. So there's an interesting story about him. There was he's tweeting stuff, he's DMing females saying that he's going to go to the Lakers, taking pictures of himself with DJ Khaled, just trying to
doing Hollywood things.
Exactly. So
no, but that got proved that it was a fake account though.
It's a fake.
Yeah.
But a lot of people
I don't know.
It's like half and half. Half and half. People think it's true, but I think it's a fake. But
I'll just tell you real quick, this is the same guy who was like in the post game, like, I'm just trying to get my 2K ratings up.
But why would an NBA player, especially one that's known, say, "Hi, my name is Hassan Whiteside"? Like in a DM, like who does that? No one does that. Hi, I'm Hassan.
I'm trying to get my 2K rating up in a post game interview after having a beast game though.
Well, that's all right. Yeah, well,
I don't know.
Argument for another day, I guess.
That's true, but I think it's a fake too. But it's just interesting because Hassan Whiteside seems like he would be perfect in Hollywood. He wants to be recognized as a certain talent. I'd like him in LA. That's my squad, so I'd love to see him. He's not young. He's 27. He's been in the league for a while. He just started getting really good lately. So this is weird. Huh? That's prime years, though. 27 is prime years. So and Dwayne Wade. He needs to just get this over with. Just sign with Cleveland. Stop playing with us. I just think that Dwayne Wade and LeBron James just fit together. I just think that I just don't even see them. They're not even they don't even compete against each other when they play anymore. You see every time LeBron plays,
they want to like hug and shake hands.
They're doing their dap. I'm like, come on, really? Are we really doing this right now? and they get blown out every time they play. So it's like LeBron doesn't take playing.
Remember those matchups before they joined together too.
I just think. But the only thing is, basketball-wise, would it fit? Because you have Kyrie. Kyrie is his own man. He is going to get his regardless. If LeBron's getting his, he's going to get his. And then Dwayne Wade needs the ball as well too. And Kevin Love, Kevin Love needs the ball too.
Let me say this. As far as Dwayne Wade, he can't. If you're going to leave Miami, don't go to Cleveland. If you go to Cleveland, of all places, especially because the Miami fan base, they love you. You basically own Miami. They call you Wade County, Wade County. Yeah, exactly. So if you leave for all play, that's basically like a Red Sox player leaving for to play for the Yankees. I know it happens all the time, but this would be like Derek Jeter leaving the Yankees to go play for the Red Sox his final couple of years. You do not do that, but. I could see him leaving. I could see him leaving though, for somebody else because the Heat's in a world of trouble. You don't know if Chris Bosh is going to be healthy. That is huge. The last two playoffs, he hasn't been there with the max deal on top of that. Hassan Whiteside is going to go. They might struggle next year, and the Pacers are going to come up. If he's trying to win, and if he's saying, "Well, I deserve this money," if we're going to sit here and struggle. Or if he's like, well, if I'm going to get paid less, I might as well go to a realistic winning situation. So I don't know where he would go, but I mean, it is a little bit annoying that he's having his agent reach out to the Spurs and Mavs, knowing damn well he's not going to come to either team. And why would you do that to a Mavs fan?
I can see the Spurs though.
Why would you do that to Mavs fan? Look, man, you want to know what I'm really interested? You want to know what I'm interested? You want to know what I'm interested in? This free agency period. How will the Mavs get screwed over again? Every single offseason, there's multiple big-time players that are like, oh, the Dallas Mavericks. Oh, we're looking into them. Last couple of years, it was Dwight Howard. It was it was Darren Williams. It was DeAndre Jordan last year. All these players that just screw us over. Now we got Mike Conley and Hassan Whiteside and Jamal Crawford saying, yeah, I want to take a look at the Mavs, trying to get my hopes up. Nah, man, I'm going to wait till that signature is signed on the dotted line before I get excited. Because I remember this time last year when I was getting all amped up and I went up to the cabins to celebrate 4th of July weekend. And DeAndre Jordan committed. He was like, yep, I'm going to the Mavs. And then on work on Monday, that very next Monday or Tuesday, I forget which one it was, my phone was lighting up. Bleacher Report, ESPN, DeAndre Jordan, he's having second thoughts. And then that's when the banana boat, all the emoji wars was coming out. All these stupid emojis. How will we get screwed again? I'm not sure. The Warriors, like I said, they need to go after Hassan Whiteside. They need somebody that can get rebounds to help Draymond Green out. Edison Varejao probably won't be in the league. I don't see how he can be. And Festus Ezeli might need to go to the D League for a couple of years. That was bad. That was a bad showing as far as how he looked in these finals. So
the Warriors are more interested in him than Bogut, though. They just said that today. They're like done with Bogut because he's like hard to reach out.
Oh,
to.
You got to be done. Then be done with all of them. Be done with all of them then. There's no way in hell you can say, all right, we're going to let Bogut go. We're going to move forward with Festus Ezeli. You cannot do that. You cannot do that to the city of Oakland because all hell will break loose. And Harrison Barnes, he's going to go, not like that's a loss anyway. He'll get a max contract probably from the 76ers. I don't know what's going to happen. Other than that, everyone else are restricted free agents like Andre Drummond. He's not going to go anywhere. He's going to be with Detroit. DeMar DeRozan, last I checked, he said he only wanted to meet with the Raptors, so he's going to stay. So I'm like, well, after Kevin Durant, and then you got Hassan Whiteside, and I am interested in Mike Conley as far as where he goes. If he goes to the Spurs, that would be really, really nice. I have Tony Parker come off the bench, figure that out. I think that would be really nice, especially if they're going to take a pay cut. If they're trying to win, do with like David West. Obviously, they're not going to take the minimum of, what was it, $2 million. But they're going to get a handsome paycheck. But if they're willing to form a super team out there, I can say that. So, BoldBarry, you said you're going to tell me why it is that the Mavs get screwed over in free agency. Please explain to me why that is the case.
Oh, you already mentioned the names for me, man. You just, you heard all these marquee names. That was really it. They're done. Chandler Parsons is talking about like, yeah, I'm just ready to go play. Dirk is just like, I'm just going to wait and see and just be unhappy for my last 2 years of my life. You
know what? Chandler Parsons, Chandler Parsons needs to go. I don't give a damn where he goes. I don't care where he goes. I don't want him.
I don't even know why he did that.
And he's like, he wants a max. And look, why wouldn't I'm not going to blame him for wanting a max contract because everybody's getting max contracts. There is no salary floor anymore.
He's getting paid the same amount of money as John Wall. We're like bums.
Dude, everybody. All you need to do is average 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, and you'll get $17 million a year. There's no baseline anymore. There's no baseline. So I
don't even disrespect Tristan anymore either, because he balls in the finals when he needs to.
Then that $84 million basically all comes in the NBA finals. But that means you have to say you have to make the finals every single year, because other than that, there's no chance. Even though he has LeBron James.
It'll happen every time.
Maybe you're right. Maybe these are one of those contracts where it's so concentrated where it only activates in the NBA finals.
Yeah, it's just the playoffs.
Yeah. So, other than that, I'm not interested in anyone else. I'm more interested to see how the Mavericks get screwed over.
I'm just interested to see who the Lakers will get. I mean,
I want to see what D12 is about to do, honestly, because
I don't care about that.
We made. I honestly, it's one of those like bittersweet things. I just know that the Celtics aren't gonna land like a real marquee guy, and this is the type of guy that we would land because it's the only option left. Yeah. But my real question is, like, for D12, like, that's one of those things where, like you said, he's meeting with ATL, he's meeting with Boston, but he goes to ATL only if Horford goes.
That's his hometown, too.
Right, and that's his home. I was going to say that, too. He's coming home, and, the league's been about coming home often.
Coming home.
And what my question is with re-signing Howard, and I'm scared with Boston because Howard expects to get, I believe, 30 or 31 mil for his max deal. He's expecting like that, which is crazy. Like, we've seen his numbers, man. It was well below his career highs and career averages, well below, which is disappointing.
Still getting a double, which is crazy. That's how you know he's not really playing the way he should.
He's not really playing. He should, and I don't know if that's because your situation suck, but I can't even say that because you choose your sucky situations and sign 2-year, 3 year deals for your sucky situations. I don't know what it is, but Howard better wake up because, I screamed this even during his intervention on TNT a few months back. Like, this dude's talking about he's going to go work on his game. Dude, you're 30. Like, what more of your game you got to work on? Like, I actually went to Houston and worked on your game with Akeem Olajuwon, one of the best big men in the game. And you played with Kobe, and Kobe went and worked out with Akeem Olajuwon, went and got a chip. So I don't know what's going on with you. Like, I'm just scared that we signed this dude for A, too much money, B, he signs, and then he just is a complete dumpster fire, disaster, franchise killer, locker room, shade room guy, whatever he is. Like, he's just going to be that guy in the locker room because we all know big men complain about touches, but this guy complains about touches with fairy tale moves. So I just don't really understand why Dwight Howard, he needs to learn that he is a defensive guy, a rebound guy. He can be dominant when other players create for him. Right, like he used to play. When Jameer Nelson was throwing them lobs and he's catching alley-oops, that's the Dwight Howard he needs to return to. Like, I understand people criticize his game of not having a post game and, like, people compare him to Shaq because of his build and stuff. But no, Dwight Howard is who he is, an athletic monster with wide shoulders and is going to score off alley-oops and putbacks. We know he doesn't have a post game. He knows this, but teams sign him thinking that he can do this. So I hope Boston goes into this not making that type of mistake. And a couple of GMs also mentioned this earlier too, that like Dwight Howard, which it's kind of true with the way the game's like, changing. It's not big man dominant like that. And then your big men, are stretch 5s and 4s. Dudes are playing small ball. So I mean, Dwight Howard has to right, and you got to be able to shoot, or if not be able to shoot, be able to defend the guy who's out there shooting. And we all know Dwight Howard's got a little slow on those feet out there. So it's just I'm real iffy with Dwight Howard coming to Boston. I wouldn't mind it because it does give us the inside presence of defense because teams eat on us all day in the paint, but it still doesn't fill in that hole for offense. Yeah, 13 alpha putbacks and stuff, but I want that, mastermind knows best. I've been screaming 2 guy or 3 guy for the longest. Even in the big 3 days, I'm like, we need that 2 guy because Ray Allen's getting old. And what happened? Ray Allen left and did the wild stuff, but that's a story for another day. But that's it. That's really what I got.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. Free agency starts tomorrow. As far as all the different moves, we'll just have to see what happens and then take it from there. Next up is the buzzer beater. This is LockEmUp Hoops Podcast. Realistic Randy, Mastermind, BoldBarry.
Hey, more rides, new life, new gigs, new this, new that. My home, my place, bigger names, bigger money, smaller honey. She a good girl, man, but she back out. You